Hey, my name is Ishaan. You probably know me as Revishaan, the guy who studies all the time. You have not seen me for the past year on this channel properly, to be honest, because I moved out of the UK 11 months ago to start building a new chapter of my life here in Dubai. And this video is going to tell you exactly what I'm doing, but more specifically, how I managed to set up and scale one of my businesses. A bit of background, basically when I was 17, 16, I started a business in the shadows. I didn't really tell anyone about it and kind of scaled it, moved over here to work on so many different things. This is actually one of my offices in Dubai, in Media City. And yeah, it's been a whirlwind of a journey, I'm not gonna lie, but hopefully this video will clear things up and get you to sort of knowing who I am again, what I really do. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. So we are currently in one of the offices that I work in. This is the office for an edtech application called School Hack, but also on demand. I started working with these guys about a year and a half ago. I'm actually a partner, so I scaled this application to 3 million users, and then I moved on to other projects. But of course, I'm still here, still working on this. Major launch of this coming, like a major comeback of this coming soon. But I thought you had to kind of show you a bit of the office. It's genuinely a really, really nice space and I love it. But yeah, it's been a whirlwind of a journey, honestly. So let's get into it. Let's sit on a seat and let's go exactly how I built a business and scaled it. So let's start from scratch. Initially, what I started doing, I started content creating. I started this YouTube channel, I started my TikTok account, and I rapidly gained tons of followers, and it was an insane experience. Not just because I grew a following, but because I started to monetize off of it. And I feel like not many people know the benefits of creating a personal brand, but I'm telling you, it's absolutely insane. And the way I learned this was because when I had 40,000 followers on TikTok, obviously I was just posting my educational content, my day in the lives. Bill Gates' company reached out to me. Not Microsoft, it was this other sort of foundation he was working on. But I thought it was a scam to begin with. And I was like, hello, hope you're well, thanks for reaching out. I was like, okay, at that point I was charging 20 quid for a video. I was like, okay, Bill Gates can spare me a few dollars. So I was literally just like, pay me $5,000 because I thought it was a scam. The next email pretty much shook me because they were like, look, we can't pay you $5,000, but we can pay you 4.3 grand. And I was like, wait a minute. They've just agreed to 4.3 grand from the initial $20 or £20 I was initially actually getting brand deals for. And that kind of flipped a switch in my head because I was doing 2 minutes of work and getting 3.2 grand or whatever it was, 4.2 grand. And I was like, why don't I do this more? Because this is literally a full-time job. If I can get that much within 2 minutes of work, what can I do in a month? And that's when my sort of brain started ticking and I decided to start up a marketing agency. Now, the thing is, everybody talks about marketing agencies, getting in the clients, lead generation, yes, but my whole point wasn't just to make a fluffity-fluff marketing agency that everybody does. Because my content was education related, there were loads of other educational creators on TikTok at that point. So I decided, okay, look, let me get all of them together and sign them all under one agency. Because if I can do that, I can basically create a monopoly over the educational sector on TikTok, which was absolutely fantastic, and it was a great move for me because I started off with 5 creators and promised to 10 times their revenue, but after that, to this day, I've got about 50, 60 creators on the roster. But the thing is, we don't want to sort of get everyone on the roster. We still have to be exclusive because we don't want to dilute the talent. So through that process, I basically built a talent pool, built a company, and more importantly, a community. We host events. I want to position this company more as a community rather than a profit-making company because I genuinely care about the creators and what we're offering to the creators. Like, I couldn't care less about the profit from this company. I've got other companies to do that. But this company, I genuinely scaled and I'm so proud of it. So how did I do this and how did I actually set up the processes to scale this company? Me being me as a 17-year-old, I had zero experience. I had zero cash as well. My parents gave me nothing to invest in this business. I started from nothing. And that is actually great because it taught me so many things. It taught me about budgeting. It taught me how to handle company accounts. It taught me how to invoice. It taught me about corporation tax. It taught me about balance sheets. Going into something like this, it gives you the best education because you are genuinely in it yourself. You are learning on the go, and that's the most important thing. You aren't learning from a textbook, you're genuinely learning from real life as it comes and goes. If you are learning from a textbook, you just won't be able to apply that knowledge easily. Whereas if I'm learning from real life, it's incredible. That's why degree apprenticeships, I'm all for them. University, I'm not so much for because it genuinely narrows your mind. It narrows the way you think. So how did I do it at 17? It was only me. What I did was I hired people that were like-minded. I hired people on commission basis and they earned 5% commission. Now, I knew this would work because every lead that I got was inbound. I didn't actually have to do any client acquisition. Clients came to us because of the influencers we managed. Now, I have a team of about 11 working for me and everybody's on commission apart from one other person who's actually on PAYE. I'll get to that later on. But because everybody's on commission, they all make 5% of what an influencer earns. And that gives them benefit and motivation to onboard more talent, but also to actually really foster a relationship with the talent they're managing. This model allowed the staff to work flexibly. Like, I don't care if you've got another role at another company. This role, literally, you can work from wherever you want, wherever you want. It's a part-time thing. It's a perfect role, especially if you're a university student. And university is how I actually found somebody else who actually runs the company on my behalf when I'm in Dubai. So it's a UK-based company. When I moved to Dubai, I handed basically everything over to somebody else. And I found her through LinkedIn. She is probably the best person I can genuinely say to run my business for me. She knows everything inside out. She knows all of the processes. It's incredible. And I found her on LinkedIn. She actually sent me a message on LinkedIn saying she'd volunteer for me. And I was like, okay, look, I'll take you on board for a week. 3 years later, she's working full-time under me. She's managing the whole team. She's managing all of the influencers, all of the partnerships, and it's genuinely, she's probably the best person I've ever hired in my life. And if she ever, I don't want her to move. Obviously, I don't mind if she moves, but I genuinely don't know what I would do without her. But she is a great example of literally starting off as a volunteer now to literally becoming the managing director of my UK-based company. Before starting a company, you need to have all of your processes in place. You need a process, you need a structure. How are you going to gain a client? Number one. What's step number 2? What's step number 3? What's step number 4? What's step number 5? Before even starting this company, you need all of these processes in place to make sure you aren't confused and your staff aren't confused. Because the worst thing is when nobody knows what's going on. That can easily happen. It can cause disputes. It can cause so many different things. And luckily at TapLab, I got it right. I got it right. Obviously, we had a few hiccups. Obviously, we had to train staff. But at the end of the day, a process is a process. And as long as it's followed, everything will be going smoothly. Now, how do you create a process like this? Number one is make sure that all of the staff are aligned in your company values, your company ethos, and what the aim of the company is. Number two, the process needs to have common sense. Common sense prevails everything. Look at any situation in business. Common sense is the core of business. If you don't apply common sense, you will not get anywhere. Number three, you need to have authority in the business. If you are starting a business, you cannot let people walk all over you. You have to maintain that authority, and if something does go wrong, you have to take action. And finally, if things are not going well, you have to address the issue. Because if you don't, it will turn into a long-winded process, which you want to get rid of immediately. The company that I specifically built was an influencer management agency. So there's loads of them out there. Honestly, they're all great, but you have to find a USP. And my USP was education. We hone in on education and positive influencers. Yes, you have an agency that does this for YouTube creators called 16th Talent. But I wanted to create something for my generation of student creators and really create a monopoly over them. Because number one, I saw a problem. people were undercharging. People weren't getting what they deserve. And I needed to regulate that community so that people weren't being taken advantage of, because there are so many small creators out there that genuinely don't know what to charge. And us as an agency help them and make sure that they're paid for what they deserve. So we aren't genuinely profit driven because we constantly give back to our creators through events, through free things, through everything. But we want to foster a community, and we really, really want to see this community flourish. Anyway, I'm going to leave this video here because I have rambled a lot. So if you do want to continue the series, please make sure you do subscribe and like and do all of that stuff. But I will post more about my businesses, exactly how I sort of moved to Dubai, why I left the UK, stuff like that. But if you guys enjoy this sort of content, please do let me know, because I genuinely have lost my spark for YouTube content creation, but I do want to get back into it. So let me know what you want to see. If you want to see anything specific, I'll be so down to make the videos. But other than that, have a great day, guys, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.